started M.A.S athlete because of a lot of highlights of my life I realized were a lot of the challenges that I'd had the good fortune to overcome and to push through, and a lot of the adventures that came along the way. Choice to want to be somebody who values their physical ability. I want to push hard, I want to push you hard, but also not all the time. That's what training's for. Those competitions are when you really want to drive yourself hard, but training is for training, and training should be safe, training should be effective, and training should be fun. Those people who are willing to work hard to the places that they want to be, which is more confident in their own life.
Tell us a little bit about your business. What's M.A.S athlete?
M.A.S athlete is really a fitness philosophy and fitness protocols for people who want to challenge themselves, who want to better themselves, who want to take on something that they don't think that they can do. So somebody who wants to set their goals really high in hopes that they can achieve them, but is a little bit uncertain, maybe like a 50-50 shot at achieving whatever they set out to do. I started M.A.S athlete because of a lot of highlights of my life I realized were a lot of the challenges that I'd had the good fortune to overcome and to push through, and a lot of the adventures that came along the way. A lot of the stories that came with it, whether it was running a Spartan race or doing my first sprint distance triathlon, or being able to perform at my best and to undertake adventures like skiing and scuba diving and swimming without getting tired and without feeling that fatigue kind of weigh on you, I think is a super important aspect. And so I wanted to contribute to the good science of what's out there, of how you can prepare yourself for something like that. Like a lot of people just say, oh, get in the gym every day, work hard, blah, blah, blah. People be working hard a lot. They'd be working hard and maybe not seeing the results that they should. And so that's another reason I wanted to create this platform, to help disseminate some good information and get those people who are willing to work hard to the places that they want to be, which is more confident in their own body. It's a lifestyle choice to want to be somebody who values their physical abilities. Not everybody does that. I mean, I feel like a lot of people don't. Even a lot of the people that exercise, I believe, don't necessarily value their own physical capability in the way that they should. They do it to be healthy, which is a great reason to exercise. They do it to feel better, which is also a great reason to exercise. But there's a lot of resources out there for people in those first two categories. Really what this resource is for people in that third category that want a little bit more, that want to drive a little bit more, that value those physical capabilities to be able to perform under pressure, to be able to perform when they need to, that feel exhilarated when they compete and they really want to drive for that next level, for that PR, or even if you're starting off, just getting into that kind of lifestyle. So the more that you do difficult things, the more that you do things that maybe you previously had thought that you weren't able to do, the better your self-efficacy is, and that's going to relate directly to your confidence. All these training programs are created by a needs analysis. I look at what activity you're doing. I figure out scientifically what the needs are for that program, for that activity. I figure out what you need to have physiologically your body able to do to complete that, and then I work backwards. So I figure out what you need to complete that. I go back to that next step. All right, where are you now, and what type of training do we need to do to get to? Do you need to be stronger? Do you need to be faster? Do you need to have a better lactate threshold? Do you need to have a better aerobic capacity?
Creating a workout.
The most important part about creating a workout is really three things, I think. Is that it's effective. That's probably the most important. That's at the top. It has to do what you want it to do. It has to be effective. whether that's building size, whether that's burning fat, whether that's increasing your aerobic capacity or increasing your strength or power. That's the first thing. It has to be effective. The second thing is it needs to be efficient, especially in today's day and age. It's got to be get in there, get your stuff, get out. So really balancing those two is like real important, especially for pretty type A individuals that like to do this type of challenge and competition type stuff. They're usually pretty busy. So you got to get in, get your stuff, get your results, and get out. So the second part is efficiency. It really needs to be an efficient process. And the last thing is it needs to be fun. It's got to be enjoyable. You need to like getting in there, getting after it, and getting out. Part of that is making sure that it feels effective. It can be effective all at once. If it doesn't feel effective, you're not going to really enjoy it.
Stuff do you plan on putting out?
All sorts of different stuff that relate to training, to treating your body better, and finding new novel challenges that maybe you didn't necessarily think of or you couldn't find or weren't available to you up until this point. So I want to have a big community of people that like to compete in these different types of challenges, that like to push themselves hard, but be smart about it too. They're either on one side of the fence or the other. They're either on push, never stop, you're not going to get injured, that's a bunch of bullshit, or they're on the other side of like, you need to be cautious in how you lift and how you exercise, and you need to never overexpend yourself. And I'm kind of somewhere in between those two. I want to push hard, I want to push you hard, but also not all the time. That's what training's for. Those competitions are when you really want to drive yourself hard, but training is for training, and training should be safe, training should be effective, and training should be fun. That way, when you go to compete, you can push yourself hard and you can have fun during that competition.
M.A.S. athlete program, like, can you just speak on that a little bit and kind of how one becomes a M.A.S. athlete?
Yeah, so a M.A.S. athlete program is going to be something that's downloadable off the internet. I sell them on my website. A lot of my pre-written ones that I've written for people in the past are going to be posted up there. You can download them. It's going to come up in a big Excel spreadsheet. There's going to be a pre-test to assess your level of fitness and to prescribe loads down the road. And you can complete that, mark in your different values. There's going to be a program overview on a second sheet of that Excel spreadsheet. That's going to go over all of your different exercises and all of your different workouts for the whole program. And then each sheet is going to be its own week. And in that, it's going to have the exercise, which is going to have a hyperlink to a YouTube video of me doing the exercise. It's going to have your sets, your volume, your reps, and your intensity or your load, whatever that's going to be, whether it's cardio or whether it's resistance. And all of that is going to be in one spot. The idea of that is so you can kind of expedite your time at the gym. I've put in this work previously, so you don't have to put in the work now. And it's all organized and right there for you. You can find it on your phone. I use Google Sheets on mine, so I pull my Google Sheet up. I can just look at whatever my load is going to be for the day, my sets, my reps, and I can go straight from there. My favorite race that I've ever done was a Spartan sprint in middle of nowhere, South Carolina, with my buddy Andrew. And we drove up there in the morning and we just crushed this 5K obstacle race. It was awesome. It was like an hour long. There was like 20 obstacles. They were all super fun. And then we drove right back down. So it was just a lot of time spent with him. And really prep for that race was pretty minimal. It was a lot of like high intensity stuff, a lot of different activities as far as like they try to stress your body in different ways, like carrying a log or carrying a big old box of rocks like up a hill, or doing a rope climb on a really skinny rope. So training for it was like very challenging and very fun. And then the race itself was actually a blast. It was a well put together, well organized race that me and him had a lot of fun doing together.
How can people find you?
So I'm on the internet, hopefully from Google. If you Google M.A.S. athlete, hopefully I'll come right up at the top. Also, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, about to be on LinkedIn, but that's kind of a question mark. But the main ones are going to be Facebook and Instagram are going to be the easiest way to get a hold of me, or straight on the website, which is mas-athlete.com.